and welcome to the Habits and Home Show. I'm your host, Lisa Lazat, and I help busy moms bring order to their homes by downsizing and decluttering and ditching old habits in exchange for systems that bring peace and more enjoyment to their lives. If you're a mom trying to show the love of Jesus to your family, but the clutter in your home keeps you overwhelmed and frustrated, you have come to the right place. On this podcast, you will hear easy, step-by-step tips to declutter and create systems so you can keep your home organized and finally walk in the peace God has promised you. Need some accountability? I've got you covered there too. Join the Accountability Club, a community of like-minded mamas decluttering and systemizing our homes together. Are you ready, friend? Let's get started. Hey friends, and welcome to the show. This is episode number 2 of our Christmas series, and we have about 12 more days left until Christmas. I hope that you are wrapping up on your Christmas gifts. No pun intended right there. But I do hope that you are getting to a place where you're done Christmas shopping. Maybe you're in the wrapping phase. That's where I'm at right now. I have probably maybe 3 more gifts left to purchase. Several gifts are coming in the mail from Amazon. I wish that we could support more local, but Amazon has pretty much spoiled us on that, right? And so I'm to the point where I'm starting to wrap up gifts, and I hope that you are too. I hope you're getting to a point where you can sit back and relax, and you've worked a little ahead of time. I was talking with one of my coaching clients on her coaching call today about our Christmas gift giving and how we approach Christmas and buying gifts for our kids. And she's kind of still at the little kid stage where she can buy a lot of toys secondhand and regift them. And I'm more so at the age where my teenagers don't want hand-me-downs for their Christmas gifts. They don't mind them throughout the rest of the year, but they don't really want them at Christmas time. However, I did visit Plato's Closet and purchased some new, and this is not a plug for Plato's, but they have some really good clothes there. And some of them had the tags still on there. I got some really nice name brand shirts for $10 a piece, and that's, in my opinion, really good. And so I was telling her, we were just talking about gift giving, and I told her that my kids, it's really hard to shop for my kids early because they we typically buy their clothes, and now they're in the clothes phase. They're teens and a preteen. And they typically want now clothes for Christmas and a couple of little gadgets here and there, but mainly clothes, and which is great for us because we need to restock them anyway. And I told her, I said, I can't really buy. I really wish that I could buy their clothes and their Christmas stuff in the summertime, get started in the summer. But I have to wait until around Christmas time to really shop for them because they have grown 6 inches, or they're bigger or fuller, or their bodies are just changing so quickly. So I can't really do a lot of pre-Christmas shopping before the season. However, if you still have little ones at home and you can kind of predict what size they're going to be in next, or even if you want to shop in the summertime or in the early fall for toys or puzzles or things like that, or even books, do that. We're just not in that season anymore where we can plan ahead and shop early. However, our system works for us, and I recommend that you do have a Christmas shopping system. And anything that you approach, any thing in your life, that you have a system for it. And that's why I'm really passionate about weeding out things in your life that are kind of clouding and cluttering up your life, and then creating a very simple system for the task and the routines that you need to get done on a daily basis. And so if that is something that you're interested in, if you're just tired of this messy, clutter-filled life, and you just feel like it's hindering your motherhood, it's hindering your walk with Jesus, it's hindering the mood that you're in on a daily basis, it's hindering your marriage, Friend, you do not have to stay stuck. You do not have to stay in that position. I do offer one-on-one coaching for my clients that like that one-on-one attention, that one-on-one accountability. A lot of my clients, when we get into our calls, they want just somebody to be there while they're working in their home. And so our coaching calls end up being very, very hands-on. I'm working in my house on something while I'm talking to them, and they are working on a task in their home. I have my weekly clients that have a set appointment with me, and each week we show up. It's almost like going to a gym. It's almost like, say you want to lose some weight and you try to do it on your own, but you don't get the results that you want. And so you hire a personal trainer that you have to show up when they show up for you, you show up for them, and they tell you how to get started, they tell you what to do, they tell you the exercise to do. Okay, so I'm very similar to a physical trainer or personal trainer, but for your home. So if that's something that you are interested in and you need some hand holding, I am right here for you. There's not a lot of people out there offering this service, and especially at an affordable cost. So if that's something you want to talk to me about more, you can click the link below and schedule a consultation with me. We'll just talk on the phone about what you're needing. Now, if you're someone who doesn't really need that one-on-one attention and you don't mind sharing an hour with, say, 10 to 20 other people, and you just want a place to show up every other week to do some decluttering in your house and get that, a little bit of accountability and motivation, then maybe the accountability club is a better option for you. What we do each month is I give you a new topic for what we're going to declutter and organize and systemize, and we work on that topic in your home for that month. And we have 2 coaching calls where you show up, you get some accountability, you get maybe about 5 to 10 minutes of one-on-one coaching from me, and then we're all working in that same area at the same time. Now, does that mean that it's restricted to only that area? No, you are free to work in any area of your home. So if that's something you're interested in, and I have also provide the link below for that. Okay, so we're going to dive into these 5 tips that I have for you for letting go of the pressure that you're feeling around Christmas time, okay? So some of these topics have come up in my one-to-one coaching calls that I've had to coach people through, and they've found great relief and release by getting the permission to just let go of these pressures that they have been putting on themselves, okay? So some of these come from my coaching calls. Number 1, okay, this is one that I talked with my client Angela. Shout out to my friend Angela. She had said yes. So this first tip is it's okay to say no to things you've already said yes to. She had already said yes to several things that have come up in her life, and they're really good things, right? Really good things, but too much of a good thing is no longer a good thing, especially when we don't have the mental or physical capacity to even fulfill those tasks. So I want you to know that even if you've said yes, I know your intention is good. It's okay to back out of that yes. It's okay to say, I just can't do it right now. There is just so much. And you don't necessarily need a grand excuse. You don't have to give people excuses. I want you to remember that when you say no to something you've already said yes to somebody, I want you to remember that your reputation with that person goes before you. And if you are a genuinely likable person, if they genuinely like you, they will like you even if you back out of something you've already committed to. So don't feel like, oh, they're going to think bad of me. No, your reputation goes before you. You have years, months, weeks of dealing with this person or interacting with this person, and that person knows your character. And if you're genuine about your no, and you're not somebody who is lazy, somebody who is not trustworthy or dependable, if that is typically not your character traits, then don't feel bad for backing out of something that you have said yes to. All right, tip number 2 is one that mainly I struggled with a couple of years ago when I was just getting into Pinterest and seeing all these ideas, and I was raising toddlers and little ones. And I want you to know that you don't have to take on other people's traditions or celebration ideas. You can keep your traditions simple and inexpensive. If you are a Pinterest junkie or a recovering Pinterest-holic, you probably have seen so much, and maybe people aren't even doing Pinterest anymore. Maybe they're doing TikTok. That's probably a big place where a lot of people get a lot of good ideas. And those ideas are great, but they're not necessarily great for you, and they're not great all at one time. You can only do so much, and your kids can only do so much. I remember that I had never, a couple of years ago, I had never done Advent. I wasn't raised growing up doing Advent. We actually did Santa Claus and, we did things like the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy and all of that stuff, right? I never did Advent around Christmas time, but I was like on Instagram during that time when my kids were little, and I saw all these influencers who were doing Advent calendars, and they were doing these beautiful spiritual Advent books and these little things where I don't even know how the Advent calendar works, but these little boxes where you open up and you get a present every single day, right? Well, I had stumbled upon a like pre-made Advent calendar, but you had to fill it with candy. You had to like put things in the boxes and everything. And I got it. I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this year, right? And I never filled it. Well, it came upon like December 3rd, and my kids, like we did it the first day, and then I didn't fill out the rest of the days. And my son, he's very like OCD, like probably clinically OCD, not the OCD where he's super tidy and everything. No, he's a messy person, but the OCD where you're obsessed and you're compulsive about something. And so he got really obsessed about this Advent calendar. He's like, when are you going to do it? I want to do it. I want to do it. And y'all, this was not a proud mom moment, but I remember that I put that little box calendar on the kitchen counter, and I had some chocolate chip cookies, and I am so embarrassed to say this, but I want you to know that I'm a real person. I smashed on top of that Advent calendar some chocolate chip cookies, and I was like, there you go, it's all done. And I'm so embarrassed to say this, but and thankfully they're not traumatized by it. Thankfully they know that my reputation goes before me and that I'm a very like kind and fun mom, and I typically but I was so stressed at that moment that I had to do this tradition that other people do, right? And I ended up throwing that thing away, and I have never done an Advent calendar since. And I think if my kids, they kind of remember this story and they're like, yeah, mom went crazy. But if I were to say, hey, let's do an Advent calendar, I would have ruined, I've already ruined the idea of doing an Advent calendar. So please forgive me, and if you do one, that's great. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is, even if you are exposing yourself, which I don't recommend that you do, exposing yourself to all these ideas that other moms and other families are doing, it's too much. It's too much. I want you to like maybe bring something from your childhood, bring one thing from your husband's childhood to incorporate and make your own traditions, and then just let that be it. Just let that be it. Okay? All right. Tip number 3 for letting go of Christmas pressure. Don't overextend yourself in order to avoid mean or hurtful things your kids may say to or about you. And now this goes for all parts of the year, but don't overcompensate. Don't overdo just to avoid your kids saying ugly things about you, because kids are going to be kids. No matter how much you give them, no matter how much you do for them, kids are going to be kids, and they're going to say awful things. And those are teachable moments. Those are parenting moments that we don't need to buy our way out of. Okay, we need to go through those times where we do feel hurt, and our kids do see that they've hurt their mom, and that, we might cry. Something that I always tell my kids: when you feel a feeling, act out that feeling. So if you feel sad, act sad. If you feel disappointed, act disappointed. If you are mad, let the person know that you're mad, okay? So don't try. So if your kids say something ugly to you, act sad, shed a tear, like let them know that it makes you sad that they have said something mean or hurtful to you. So don't try to overbuy or outbuy and to avoid these opportunities where your kids are going to be disappointed with what you did or didn't do for them. And they're going to say something mean to you or about you. Okay. It's bound to happen. Those are just teachable moments. Release yourself from that pressure to make everything perfect. Even if you bust your hiney to do everything for them, there's still an opportunity for them to say something ugly to you. Okay. So just know that and release those pressures. Tip number 4 is I always keep in mind what my kids' memories of their childhood is going to be when they are adults. Something that my husband's family does that I really love is that once a month we get together and we're either celebrating birthdays for that month or we're celebrating a holiday for that month. We're just very connected to his side of the family. And something that we do at those get-togethers is we sit on the back porch of his mom's house, and there's like a porch swing and nice comfy chairs. And I just love being a part of this because he has 4 other brothers and sisters, and they sit around and they reminisce about childhood memories. So I always think of my kids. What are they going to do when they're sitting around as adults? So this is tip number 4. Adults, your children who become adults, will remember how they felt on Christmas more than what they got. I mean, there's probably a couple of things that you can remember from your childhood that you got, and you probably remember them because of the pictures that you see, but the feeling of Christmas, oh, that goes with us forever. The memory and the feeling that we felt at Christmas. And sadly, those are the things that we as adults grieve. We grieve if we've lost our parents, if we've lost a loved one. Even if we have our parents and we have everybody else, we still have a tendency to grieve that feeling that we had when we were children, because we can't be children as adults, right? And so some of us have to shift our mindset from striving to feel those feelings that we felt as children to now creating those feelings for our own children. So keep that in mind. Your adult children, when your children become adults, they will remember how they felt on Christmas more than what they got. So I want you to focus more on how you want your children to feel rather than on what you will give them. Okay? Even if you did something great and you overdid it last Christmas, but you really need to cut back and you can't afford as much, or you want to save some money, you don't have to give them as much or give them as big of presents. You don't have to outdo yourself every year, but really focus on the small, simple traditions that your family has, the feeling. If you're a frazzled mess on Christmas, that is going to set the tone for their memories of what Christmas looked like. So keep in mind, the less you do, the less you're going to feel stressed and frazzled, and the better memories your kids are going to have. So that takes me into tip number 5, which is keep in mind that after Christmas, most people don't wish that they did more. Okay, I can never think like after Christmas has passed, man, I wish I would have done more. No, I'm always sitting on the other side of Christmas wishing I would have done less and enjoyed the moments more. Okay, so do less, but enjoy those things that you do. Enjoy those moments more, like really soak them in. If you have to journal, if you have to play music every day, Christmas music every day, like I want you to just enjoy those moments more. Do less, but enjoy those moments more. Don't be on your phone. Y'all, everybody used to say comparison is the thief of joy. I believe that the iPhone, whether you have an iPhone or Android, you know what I mean. I believe that our smartphones are the thief of joy now. Okay, yes, comparison still is, but I believe that our iPhones, because we take them everywhere, is the thief of our joy. Because we're trying to capture the moment, we're trying to send the moment, we're trying to look at other people's moments, and we start comparing ourselves, and it's just it's a slippery slope and can be a trap. So I want you to stop looking at your family through the lens of your camera and start looking at them with your physical eyes. Okay? Maybe take less pictures and just trust that your mind is the best way to capture those memories. Your eyes, your mind, your hands, your hugs, your heart, all of those are the best way to capture your memories because, like I said in tip number 4, your adult children will remember how they felt on Christmas. And they're not going to feel that way by looking at past pictures. They're going to feel it by their experiences. And you too need to live out these experiences with your kids. So leave the phone in the car when you go and look at Christmas lights. Capture the moments with your eyes. Leave your phone in the bedroom when you're watching Christmas movies with your kids. Leave your phone in your bedroom when you're reading the Christmas story, okay? Leave your phone, okay? All right, so those are the 5 tips that I have for you that are just on my heart to help you and to guide you to let go of the pressures that you're feeling this Christmas. All right, friends, if you need some extra support going into the new year, I am here for you, whether you want to work with me one-on-one or in the Accountability Club. Now, I do want to encourage you to join the Accountability Club starting in January, at least for the first 3 months. In January, we declutter photos. The photos on our phone from 2024 and hopefully prior years before that. So we declutter them and create a system for storage so you don't have your photos, and it's a big 20,000 something photos, and it's just a big mess. Anyway, join in January. We are decluttering and systemizing photos. In February, we are doing our paperwork, which I know a lot of y'all are interested in that. We are decluttering the papers in our home and setting up a very easy system for that. And then in March, we are doing sentimental items and creating a system for storing our sentimental things that are important to us. Okay, so make sure that you join for at least the first 3 months, and if you love it, stick with me for the rest of the year as we go through your entire house. All right, friends, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you right here next time on the Habits and Home Show. Hey friend, before you go, I wanted to tell you more about the Accountability Club. Each month, we'll tackle a new space in our homes and work together to declutter and set up systems so we can easily maintain order without getting overwhelmed. You'll get a new decluttering tutorial each month, the coaching and accountability you need to actually follow through, and encouragement without judgment from other Christian moms in a safe environment. And guess what? The entire club is off of social media, so you don't have to worry about distractions the world may throw at you. Sweet friend, if you're feeling stuck in your decluttering journey, this is the place for you. Click the link below to try out the Accountability Club and start decluttering today.